Well, good evening, guys. Give me a shout out in the chat if you can hear me okay, please. Just getting final setup. I think we're there. I've got some eliminators that I need to get some paint on tonight. I also got a full boss captain. I've got 2 new company veterans, one with double chainsword, because why not? 2 chainswords is awesome, right? And one with storm shield and chainsword. So we'll probably just start with those because it's going to be nice and easy, and then we'll move on. Hold on, give me 1 second. My chat isn't up on the screen. There we go. 1 second. Chat is waiting for messages. Zacharias, good evening. Adam, hey, how you doing? Yeah, we're doing some hobbying tonight. What are you working on then, Zach? Hey, Oscar, thanks. Good evening, Highland Phoenix, how you doing? It's been a good day here. It's been very nice weather. I have this watch that tracks my steps today, so I am at 15,858 steps. So, feeling pretty good about that. Figuring it's finally time to sit my ass down. And we're going to start with painting some red, because I feel like we're always painting red, right? Music down 15%, I can do that. How about that? List at the moment, some Death Company. Hi John, brothers, back after 2 weeks of vacation. Welcome back, Camille. Nice to see you. Hope you had a good day. You know, it's been so hot today. I actually really fancy a beer, but I'm going to a wedding in a couple of weeks, so I'll get a beer then, I guess. So I've been using this pot of Evil Sun Scarlet, and this has honestly been like the thickest pot of paint I've ever used in my life. I don't know why it's so thick, but it's been ridiculous how thick it has been. So I put some water in it. I put a little bit of sprue into the pot as well, so when you shake it, the little bit of sprue agitates the paint a little bit more. But this paint, I don't know what it is, if it's the weather or what, but this red has just been crazy thick. Oh, do you know what? I was in the shop today buying some new spray paint. I should have just picked up another pot of Evil Sun Scarlet. I'm so stupid. But I got some white spray and I got some Mephiston red spray so that I could spray these 2. So I'm going to be changing my list. I think I'm going to drop my Centurions. I think I filmed on Friday night. We filmed the next tier. No, on Thursday night. Sorry, guys. We filmed the next tier video with Mark and Tony, and it was the elite list that we did. And I know I've been running Centurions for a while, and I guess they didn't perform very well in the tier list. Like, we didn't rate them very highly, and because we didn't rate them very highly, and I guess the whole point of making these tier lists, right, is to help people make strong lists and stuff, right? And I'm going to a tournament and I'm trying to build this tournament list, and I'm thinking, like, so why the hell, spoilers, Centurions aren't going to be an A or S tier, right? So I'm like looking at them going like, so why am I running Centurions then? And I don't dislike them. I think they're a fun unit, and I think I get value out of them, but I think I'm going to go and run all S and A tier units in this next list. And the Centurions are 160 points, 165, and a Redemptor Dreadnought is like 185. So if I drop the Centurions, what I'm going to do, I think, is I'm going to increase my Blade Guard veterans up to a 5-man squad from the 3-man, because the list that I actually had that like went 11 wins in a row had 4 Blade Guard veterans. We dropped a Blade Guard veteran because of the points nerf, and I think we're going to go back to, well, I've never run 5-man Blade Guard veteran, but I think we're going to run a 5-man Blade Guard veteran to do the same thing as the Centurions do, and we'll just so that spends a little bit of the Centurion points, and then I think the other Centurion points I'm going to spend on the second Redemptor, because I think the list worked a lot better when we had 2 Redemptors. there's that whole, it's the whole thing with dreadnoughts. Like if you just have one dreadnought, they never seem to do that effective. It always feels like you should have two. So I think we're gonna go for two. And then what was the other thing? Yeah, and then that leaves me like 44 points precisely. So what can you do with 44 points? Well, apparently for 44 points you can have one company veteran with a storm shield and a chainsword, and one company veteran with two chainswords. I mean, you could have just a regular marine with bolt gun as well, but I figure we're a melee chapter. Why would you not have double chainsword? Chonky boys, no, says Highland. Yeah, we'll see, Highland. I'm gonna try the list a couple of times without the Centurions. I like them, honestly. I do like them. I just don't know if they're like this week. I lost the whole Centurion squad to 4 Repentia. Repentia are 14 points per model. You know, so like, what was that? Like a 50? What's that? 56 point model, or 56 points of models killed the whole Centurions in a single turn. The lack of invulnerable save can hurt them, and the lack of transhuman can hurt them as well. So I like them, but I'm gonna try a couple of games without them and see how we get on. I haven't hit, like, since the points nerf, right? I mean, I haven't managed to get a good win streak going again. So I guess until I'm gonna try a few different things. I need to get a win streak going before I go to this tournament, because I'm not going to the tournament to finish like in the bottom half, right? We're going to the tournament to finish in the top 10, I would hope. So yeah, I need to make some tweaks. I'm going to shop after the list show tomorrow. Hopefully my chapter, my CA I ordered a month ago is in. Wow, you wait that long for chapter approved? That sucks. Hey, good evening, Nick. In your opinion, starting a Blood Angels army, what's the first box you would buy if you had to starting point? I think the first box to buy is the Sanguinary Guard, right? Like, they are literally the best Blood Angels units that you can have. Or a box of Phobos Infiltrators. Because you can build them as Infiltrators and or Incursors, and I generally recommend that you have either of those two squads. So that was a great place to start. I've done a few videos. Like, I've done a video on your first 1,000 point Blood Angels army. I've done a video on how to make a Blood Angels army from the Indomitus box. So, I mean, if you check the playlists on my channels, on my channel, sorry, or then the Blood Angels Commander channel, you will find a couple of videos on where to start, I guess. Take Terminators. Yeah, you know, I kind of agree in some ways with the Take Terminators comment. I was thinking about taking Relic Terminators. I think they're the best option, right? Because they're the cheapest and they can take Lightning Claws. Hey, Fenris Jaw, thank you for subscribing. We might actually hit a milestone on this stream. I'm very close to 6,500 subscribers, so you know, share the stream with your friends. If we can get to 6,500 subscribers tonight, that would be awesome. But yeah, lost my train of thought. Completely lost my train of thought. Terminators, yeah. I think Relic Terminators would be great. Unfortunately, I own Assault Terminators and I own regular Terminators. I do not own any Relic Terminators. I guess Cataphractory or Tartos, I guess, before they got changed to just Relic Terminators. But I like the fact that, hey, thanks Nick, appreciate you subscribing. I like the fact that I just like the fact they can do Lightning Claws, right? Like, I think Lightning Claws are in a really, really good state right now. They synergize so well with the Red Thirst. So yeah, Lightning Claws are just great, I guess. Have you tried a largest ball bearing to mix your paints up? Do you know what? I haven't tried a large ball bearing. It's probably a good idea, actually. The little bit of sprue hasn't helped that much. And I have seen some of those industrial strength mixers. I actually want to buy a few different hobby supplies, but like I'm very limited in my space. I've been trying to move house now for a while, actually, John. Because like this room that I'm in is actually kind of small, and there's so much junk in it. Basically, like we need a bigger house. So I'm trying to move house, and when I move house, I want to buy a few more hobby things. May even invest in a 3D printer. I'm unsure. I think they've come down in price like an absolute ton, so I don't have to keep buying stupid bits on eBay and getting overcharged for them. But yeah, so I haven't looked at the Vortex mixer, but it's something that I might consider once I get moved. Yeah, I mean, Blade Guard veterans are great, right? And I run 3 of them at the moment. The list that I had that was running 4 of them was undefeated in 11 games. So I was looking back at that list, right? Because obviously I've been defeated a few times since the points changes, and I was trying to look, because I only made small changes to the list after the points changes came in. So I was trying to look back at the list that's won 11 games in a row and be like, right, so what was different, and like what am I missing? And then try and like take a step back, I guess, to try and go back to where that list was. So I know I didn't have any company veterans in that list, but I had 40 points to fill, and I guess the options are some servitors or some company veterans. And I think the company veterans are going to be more survivable than the servitors. And you know, the fact that this guy can have double chainsword is pretty cool. I've never actually ran a character or I guess even a troop model with double chainsword. I know you could do it, and I know you've been able to do it for a bunch of editions now, but I've never actually run one myself. So this is my first Blood Angel with the double chainsword, and I think he looks pretty cool, right? This is a Death Company chainsword, and this is just, I guess it's just a regular Firstborn chainsword, but yeah. I think a small unit of company veterans will help the early primary game. We need to get hold 3 objectives pronto. Yeah, and I mean, the small unit of company veterans are good for performing actions as well. I mean, servitors can do it too, but most of my lists, or most of my army, yeah, I would say most of the time I do pick something like Octarius Data. I actually think, like, last week against Andrew, it was a 6 objective map, and I picked Raise the Banners. I actually, in hindsight, because I've tried to analyze a little bit why I lost that game last week, right? And I think Raise the Banners doesn't really synergize with an elite-focused Blood Angels build like I do, right? Where you don't have very many troop choices, right? Because like, you don't want your units to be sitting on objectives raising banners. You want to get in the enemy's faces and stuff like that. So I actually think that although it was like a 6 objective map, I think it was the wrong choice to pick the banners. I know that I kind of failed. I forgot in turn 1 to raise the banners, but I would have still lost the game anyway. And I think that raising the banners is sort of a trap for Blood Angels. You have to be very careful. In my elite-based list, raising the banners is not good. I don't have enough units to be doing 3 actions in a turn, and then I don't want to be sitting on objectives making sure the banners are up. I want to be contesting the map, you know? So, won a game today against Thousand Suns. He got smashed round 3. My Smash Captain surviving a Demon Prince. Congrats, Actriel. Yeah, I'm not sure how competitive Thousand Suns are at the moment. I mean, they're going to be getting a new Codex very soon. I believe they're getting some new models as well, like maybe a new character is what I've heard. Like, I don't know if he's going to be competitive. I don't think Thousand Sun players were necessarily shouting that they needed new characters. I think they maybe just wanted a bit more diversity in their army, but I think a new character is what they're getting, so I guess we'll see very soon. Get yourself some Crimson Paladins and convert. Do you know what? Tell me then, have you ever bought Crimson Paladins? Are they the same sort of, like, are they some of the Forge World kits are a real pain, right? Like I've done 2 super heavy tanks, and they're such a pain. You know, it makes you appreciate how good the new plastic kits that all the models come out in are. Like, so what are Crimson Paladins? Are they all resin then? And like, do you have to wash them? Are they on gates? Like, how difficult are the Crimson Paladins to make? Adam says 3 wounds, 2+5++ can deep strike. I rate Terminators as a unit depending on what role we need. It's possible to make use of normal, assault, or relic Terminators. Yeah, I like all the Terminators now, actually. I don't have a full squad of Terminators in a good place in terms of painting, though, because most of the Terminators I owned when I was a much younger child. Yeah, I mean, I owned them 20 years ago, I guess. So, I was actually thinking about this. I've got a bunch of Terminators I just need to get painted. But, I mean, that'll come, I guess. I released that painting motivational video. I don't know if anyone's tried it yet, but, you know, works for me, I guess. And yeah, the next tier list, the elite one, is coming next week. Sisters of Battle with Code. What was different? I don't think it was this. Do you know what? Andrew's list is strong, but I don't think it's unbeatable, Highland. I mean, I actually don't think it's the right play for him to put. I think 30 of them is, you know, like, sure, they sit and protect some characters, but like, I think last week I don't know what happened. Like, I forgot phases in every turn. I generally just played really badly. I forgot Spy Network. I had some family stuff going on last week. I honestly, it's one of those times where like something was going on, and I didn't think it would affect me, like, or I didn't know it was affecting me, and then like I just had this like terrible evening. So I don't know, I'm just writing it off as like I just played really badly. It's fine, it is what it is. I learned quite a few things in the loss, which is good, because I said to Andrew, you know, like when I'd beaten him 11 times in a row or something, or him, Colin, and all the other guys, when I was on that 11 win streak, I said to him, like, I actually want to lose some games against you guys, because I always feel like you learn more when you lose. Like, when you win a game, right, you pat yourself on the back, especially when I was winning 11 games in a row, followed by I'd actually been on an 8 win streak before, so I'd won 19 out of the last 20 games I played. So 19 times out of 20, I just pat myself on the back and be like, yeah, John, you're awesome, great. You know, you go home, you don't even think about your army list. If there was a weakness in your army list, you don't notice it, because you're just like on a cloud 9 because you won again. So like, I'd actually said to Andrew a few weeks ago, I was like, you need to start beating me before this tournament, Andrew, because I actually want to know what my list is doing wrong, right? And like, I find I just don't analyze wins as in depth. Like, if I lose a game, like I'm in Battle Scribe, like on Monday night when I lost that game, I was in Battle Scribe at like midnight. I go to bed at midnight, at or I'm supposed to go to bed at midnight because I have to get up for work at I get up at 10 to 7 every day. So it usually takes me like 20 minutes to go to sleep, so I usually go to bed at midnight, right? So I found myself like at half midnight, I'm in Battle Scribe, like moving units in and out of my list, going, oh my god, I need to figure out what to do, you know. So it's like, I don't get that when I win games. Like I said, I just pat myself on the back and forget about the game. Yeah, well done, you know. So it's good to lose a couple of games, I think, and hopefully we're going to bring the pain on Andrew on Monday night. Terminators are one of my favourite units for a solid punch. Yeah, I mean, I do like Terminators, Zach. Your enemy was scared of a single multi-metal attack bike. You should have just smited it, dude. In tabletop, what's the difference between a normal Space Marine and the veteran version? You mean these company veterans that I'm painting right now, or what do you mean by veteran version, right? Like, company veterans have a slightly different profile. They don't come in squads of 10, I believe. They come in squads of 2, or I guess squads of 5 is stuff. They can take different weapons, and these company veterans actually have the bodyguard rule, which is pretty nice if the enemy has snipers. So they can protect against your characters getting shot, and also they have one other thing that's pretty nice, is they can essentially disable Overwatch against certain models, or as well, if your positioning is right. So company veterans against regular Marines, they got some advantages. Well, you need to try the motivation, Mark. It does work. The resin, they're not too bad. They just have to be careful taking them off the resin gates. Mine were fine though. I hate those resin gates. See on the super heavy tank, those resin gates, you literally need to get like a saw from like a hardware store to get them off. It's ridiculous. When I first bought my first super heavy tank, and I went through to my wife and was like, I need a saw. She's like, what are you talking about? And I was like, look at this. I need a saw because this little bit of plastic here is like 6 inches thick. Like why is it like 6 inches thick? I swear it took me about a week just to get the parts. Basically, the equivalent of getting them off the sprue takes a week for those super heavy tanks. It's ridiculous. When your head isn't at it, yeah. I mean, sometimes that's just the way it goes, right? And yeah, something just wasn't right on Monday night. Yeah, I mean, I'm not blaming the dice. I generally don't blame the dice in any loss. I don't think it's the dice game. I actually think there was a chance if I'd had good dice rolls in the second half of the game that I could have still won it even after the heap of mistakes. So the fact that I could still win it after all those mistakes makes me think that, like, you know, we all complain a little bit about like the state of the Blood Angels and the state of our Codex. I still think we can be very strong. We just have to pick very wisely and take a lot of like S and A tier units, I guess, right? I think if you do that, we can still be very strong. We can still win games. And I'll let you know. I'm actually starting to freak out a little bit because I need to get this list sorted for this tournament, which is about probably less than 7 weeks away now, and I'm actually on holiday for the first week of August, so I guess that gives me 6 weeks. And I've got those Vanguard veterans behind me on the painting table that need finished. Apparently I need to finish 2 more Blade Guard veterans, and now we need to finish these company veterans and this Eliminator and this Phobos Captain. That seems like a lot of painting for me in 6 weeks. Andrew seems to be getting better. Well, I helped Andrew make that list, Richard. Like I wanted him to have a stronger list. This first tournament that we're going to is actually a team-based tournament, so Andrew's actually in my team for that tournament. So it's basically a 3-man tournament, me, Andrew, and Colin. That's our team. So yeah, I was trying to help him make a stronger sisters list. But at the same time, like, I want to play against stronger players. I want to play against stronger lists as well, right? So it made sense to try and help him out. But like, some of the sisters units, man, like those Repentia, 14 points per model, 4 of them kill. The Centurion's 165 points in a single turn, man. That's so harsh. How do you create veteran intercessors? You just call them that? Yeah, I mean, if you wanted to make veteran intercessors on the tabletop, I would guess maybe you just paint their helmets gold, right? Or maybe you give them like a gold shoulder pad, because that's usually what veterans get. But yeah, I mean, the models, they're just intercessors, right? You probably just want some, I mean, if you're gonna run them often, I guess you want some way to identify their veterans. But like, if you're just trying them and you just tell your opponent, that's my squad of veteran intercessors, you know, because there is no canon models for veteran intercessors, I guess. Get yourself a finely crafted Japanese pool saw. Hey Benjamin, good evening, how you doing? I missed your comment, CJ. Hey Exo7, how you doing? Good evening. My Whirlwind and Leviathan Dread came in today. Flesh Tearers are happy for the firepower. How did you end up? What weapon options did you pick on your Leviathan then for Flesh Tearers? I feel like you went for at least one melee weapon, right? But like, are you going double melee weapon on the Leviathan, or are you taking some sort of cannon as well? I'm still not happy with the number of updates, point changes and nerfs, etc. I haven't played in a while now and I have models that are not painted, so I'm just on hobby mode for now. Yeah, I mean, I got a lot of models that are not painted. I'm gonna do so I did a video last year with my pile of shame, right? So I'm going to do like a year on video from the pile of shame, so we can work out how big the pile of shame is now and what we actually painted in one calendar year, because I feel like I've done a lot in the calendar year, like but sometimes when you feel like you've done a lot, when you actually break all that down, it might not be that much. So I guess we'll find out. Good evening, Martin. How are you doing? Gold helmets? Gold helmets would work, I'm sure, if you wanted to show off that there's some sort of veteran intercessors. Did you see the new Orc Dreadnought captain on a bike for 145 points? Our name characters definitely need a point drop. I did not. When was that released? Yeah, company veterans tonight. I'm making a tweak to my list for this week's battle. I'm going to drop the Centurions, and I'm going to bring back the 2 Redemptor Dreadnoughts, because I was trying to look back at my list and work out like what was in the list when it won 11 games in a row and what was different now. And I think, like, I always talk about how good Redemptors are, so I think the Redemptors maybe were, I think they helped with that. So we're gonna go back to 2 Redemptors this week and see how we get on. But to do that, I got to drop the Centurions. And I'm also going to drop the Inceptors, and we're going to bring the Blade Guard veteran squad that I run from 3 up to 5, because 5 will keep it just perfect for transhuman. And then we're going to get a couple of company veterans in here as well, just to maybe do some actions or something of that nature, I guess. So just quickly slapping some paint on a couple of them to get them started, I guess. I just sprayed them. I actually just built them yesterday and just sprayed them today, so. No Landspeeder Storm. Do you know what? I actually kind of like... I want to try the Landspeeders, but I want to go back to Double Redemptor first, because I guess I want to keep focusing on things that I know that work, right? And like the Double Redemptor list with the 3 attack bikes did have 11 games in a row wins, and I do think that list, I think, you know, I think it was strong. I guess we'll find out though, right? I think Andrew's bringing what he thinks is a slightly stronger Sisters list on Monday. He's dropped 1 squad of heavy flamers and replaced it back with multi-meltas. So he's got multi-meltas again, and I think he's got a bunch of Seraphim to take advantage of those all the strats he's got that like make flamers way better. So yeah, I mean, we'll play Andrew again on Monday. We'll see how we get on. I wouldn't have time to get the Landspeeders made and painted anyway before this next tournament, so maybe it could be a future thing, I guess. The new Orc Beast on Squigosaur, his profile is insane. Is that on the Warhammer community website? EXO. But, I mean, I do like the idea of Landspeeder Storm with the Scout Sergeant with double Infernal Pistol. I mean, that's cool. I don't know if it's I don't know if it's really a viable thing, but I mean, it's definitely a threat that would need dealt with, right? But yeah, let me know in the chat what you're working on tonight, guys, or anything that you've completed this week. And I think there was a lot of requests this week for the elite tier video. The tier list for elites. That seems to be the most requested video that's come up on the channel in the last, I guess probably in the last month. So we're gonna get that out next Friday. We actually filmed it all. I got to do a little bit of editing on it, and then it'll be yeah. So this Friday coming, we'll get the elite tier list out, and then maybe the week after that we'll have something else, and then like we've still got to do HQ, we've still got to do Forge World, and then we'll see. I always like to just quickly do the bases like this before I play with any model, even if I don't get like any other colors on them. I just think like this is much better than the you know, the default sprayed look, whatever you would call it. I have a Leviathan set up with a claw, storm cannon array for overall shot output, and the twin Volkites. Nice, man. Yeah, I would definitely recommend the twin Volkites. I feel like they are the way to go. I have a storm cannon and a grav cannon, or the grav flux bombard. I like them both. Storm cannon is definitely good at chewing up through infantry, right? Movement 10, weapon skill 2+, ballistic skill 5+, strength 6, toughness 7, 9 wounds, 5 attacks, 4 and plus vulnerable save, 1 attack from his weapon which deals 2 damage. Squigosaur has 3 more attacks at strength 7, 3 damage or deal 4 more wounds if you roll a 6. Holy crap. And that's 145 points. I have some real questions about some of the new rules that have been released, honestly. Like, whoever wrote the Blood Angels Codex, the new version of it, like, did they not get the memo that everything in the new codexes needs to be overpowered? Are we getting a new meme of Tony? There will be probably a new meme of Tony. You should have heard him talk about what was he? You should have heard him talk about heavy support. No, sorry, heavy support, elites. And he got a -1 damage like a dreadnought. Oh jeez. Yeah, that sounds pretty powerful, Exo. Yeah, it's like all the new codexes have super powerful stuff, and it's like when we got our codex, it just felt so lackluster. Like, I think every review on our codex, people just said, oh, it's the same codex we had in 8th. Right, that's legitimately what people said. They were like, oh, this is a bit lackluster. And then it's like all these new codexes for all the new armies. It's like, holy crap balls, these guys are strong now. I don't understand why we got a codex with like no changes. And then, yeah, I don't understand why we got a points reduction, you know, sorry, not points reduction, points increase, when I just don't get it. I reckon the Scout Dual Infernal, maybe Heavy Bolter and Storm needs weighted up against other units of Vanguard. Yeah, I think you're probably right, Highland, that the codex for Blood Angels is 8.5. It wasn't a 9th edition codex. Based on, if you look at all the other factions and their 9th edition codex, ours doesn't even come close, you know? Like, I actually don't even use that many of our stratagems, I feel like. Most of the stratagems that we end up using are Space Marine stratagems, right? Wisdom of the Ancients, Transhuman Physiology. I mean, occasionally you might use Upon Wings of Fire, but I feel like it's a very occasional because they made it core only, so you can't redeploy characters with it anymore. Oh, it's a leak. They'll probably be right. Most of the leaks tend to be pretty accurate these days. I don't know who leaks stuff, but someone at Games Workshop always manages, something always gets leaked nowadays, right? And it's usually pretty accurate. I mean, Valrak knew about those the new Black Templar characters before there was anything announced. He knew weeks, actually. He's been speaking about that for ages. You prime with grey. No, I actually prime with white. I'm old school, so I prime with Corax white. And it's just the way that I've always primed my guys, like way back, like from, let's say, like early 90s. So when I came back to the hobby, like I have a very specific way of painting red, I guess, which was prime with Corax white, then paint one coat of Mephiston red, then paint one or two coats of Evil Sun Scarlet, I guess, based on the coverage. So yeah, I guess I do it. It's probably one of the reasons it takes me so long to get armies done, is that I basically do 4 coats of red before I start painting any detail. But yeah, it's just the way that I wanted the whole army to match what I'd done previously. So I just kept it the same, I guess. It might have been quicker to start over, but do you know what? I actually amn't the biggest fan of Blood Angels and Mephiston Red. I prefer, so some people paint Mephiston Red and then edge highlight Evil Sun Scarlet, which I guess it probably ends up giving a very similar effect to what I do. If you don't edge highlight with Evil Sun Scarlet or something, then I actually don't know how you paint Blood Angels in red. But no, I go Evil Sun Scarlet and then I just basically wash the whole thing with Agrax Earthshade to bring it down a touch. And it sort of makes the armor look a little bit dirty, because you've got that brighter red, but you're sort of grunging it down a bit with the Earthshade. It's pretty simple as well. All my paint schemes tend to be quite simple. But yeah, so I just do that. It's nice and easy. Does your new list give marksman honors and gift of foresight to the Phobos captain? No chance. Phobos captain doesn't need gift of foresight, man. He typically can't be targeted, right? Because he's hiding with the snipers. So because he can't be targeted, then you only get a third of the value out of gift of foresight, right? Well, maybe not a third, I guess. 2/3? But still, I mean, again, that comes back to the fact that, like, I want to try and go back to what was winning all the time, and what was winning all the time was the captain with the gift of foresight making him insanely tanky, right? So I'm happy to spend 1 CP occasionally on a 4 damage rifle shot to make it wound. I don't have a problem with that. I'd rather do that and have my captain just that much more survivable, or my chapter master, sorry, that much more survivable and live the whole battle. I feel like that's a better trade-off. I mean, you might disagree. I guess Rezio definitely disagrees, maybe, but yeah, no, I'm happy enough to not give my Phobos captain gift of foresight. How many factions do you collect beyond Blood Angels? Well, it's complicated, because the reason it's complicated, Death, Scythe, Death. Alright, I get it, Death, Scythe, I guess it's supposed to be of Death, okay. Death, Scythe of Death. The reason it's complicated is because when I started this YouTube channel, I basically had, like, I think when I did my Pile of Shame video, I had about, I think it was like 9,500 points of unpainted Blood Angel stuff. So I kind of made the commitment to myself as much as anyone that like I was going to do this Blood Angels YouTube channel and that I was going to get rid of my Blood Angels pile of shame or like complete my Blood Angels army, because I'm one of these people that tend to bounce around a lot. So I have a Blood Angels army. I have a Necron. No, not Necron. Sorry, I have a Necromunda kill team. They're not kill teams in Necromunda, are they? They're Necromunda gangs. I have 2 gangs, both half painted. A Goliath gang, which was like the Goliath gang I had when I was a young kid, but I bought that new box that gave me the Goliath gang. And then I was painting the Escher gang that you got in that box as well. So I've got two Necromunda gangs. I also had a Thousand Suns kill team, and because I bought the Thousand Suns kill team, I'd actually bought some Thousand Suns, some other models and stuff, so that I could make an army with it. I also collect Star Wars Legion. In the Star Wars Legion, I have both the Empire and the Rebels, and in Star Wars Legion you only have to have like 800 points of units for an army, so I had like basically a starter army for both, but then I'd sort of committed that like, oh, my Legion army is going to be Rebel Alliance, you know, like Luke Skywalker and all that shit. So I've got like a bunch of Legion models that are like half, you know, I probably have 800 points painted so I could play a game, but I've got like a half painted army as well. And then I have a bunch of other board games that come with unpainted miniatures. So while I have all these other things, like I'm just not doing any of them right now. I'm just 100% focused on Blood Angels, and I guess I'm probably going to be 100% focused on Blood Angels for like 4 or 5 years, because there's a few things that I want that I don't have right now. Cough, Invader ETVs. I know that's a contested topic right now. Some people really think the Invader ETVs are crap, but I actually think for 85 points I kind of like them. I'd have to play, like, they didn't math hammer too badly at all. I guess I'd have to play them a few times to see if I do like them. But yeah, so there's I guess there's a lot of I have a lot of other stuff. At some point many years from now you may see me paint something else on this channel, but for the long future we're working, and there is a video on the channel with the backlog that I have of Blood Angels, and it's literally like an entire table stacked 2 deep. Like it's like my it's literally my kitchen table has like every unit on it, and you can't see the table. I actually had to move things around because they wouldn't all fit on the table. I just have so much Blood Angel stuff, and all of it's in progress. Like very little of it is on sprues, you know, like I buy stuff, I sort of get painting, we get like halfway through them and then realize they're not that competitive, and then we just move on. And that's typically how I roll, I guess. Good evening, good evening, Vas Matty Corp. How you doing? I'll highlight mine with Astroth Red, and then Ryza Rust. Dry brushing is a great way to speed up painting to good standard. 4,000 points of red armor in a year, and I don't paint much. Yeah, that's a really good speed, actually. It takes me about a year to do 2,000 points to the level of quality that I do, but I always say that I am very slow. I don't ever tell people I'm a quick painter. I end up going back and forth a lot, I find, and maybe that's just because I'm a bit picky about things and stuff, so I do end up going back and forth on certain bits and weapons and stuff. Yeah, so I don't know what else there is to say about that, except I am generally pretty slow. I thought about Inquisitor Karminov and said Karminov has a 30-inch multi-melta, but like beyond that, what else does he really bring to the battle? I actually don't know what else he brings. If you remember to use Spy Network, Cote's is pretty good. I feel like. Hopefully that's our one. That's the one time that I forget to use Spy Network. I think it was only my second game with him, so yeah, it was just a really, really bad night on Monday night. My thought on that is the top 4 AdMech lists and tournaments have lost 30 games, 6 versus Space Marine armies. All Space Marine armies had like 5 dreadnoughts, so no, I don't drop the second Redemptor. Yeah, so maybe I'm on the right path. You're saying, right? Dropping the Centurions and bringing back the Redemptors. We'll see on Monday, I guess. But I actually, just before they changed the points and chapter approved, I'd actually bought a 3rd Redemptor. So that was the one that I was working on that was like Death Company colors. Maybe you saw that, because I had 2 red ones and I made the 3rd one like a Death Company Redemptor just because I could, I guess. So I'd actually gone for a 3rd Redemptor. I wasn't sure if I was like I'm not. I think I've made a list with 3 Redemptors in it, but like I'm not sure. Yeah, I guess I'm just not sure how I felt about the 3, like having 3 Redemptors, but like maybe there's, maybe there's something in that. If Dreadnoughts are really good at the moment, and I think a good part of that is their Duty Eternal, right? I was actually talking about this the other day. I was saying it's kind of strange that they gave all the Dreadnoughts Duty Eternal while at the same time they removed core from all the vehicles. So, like, vehicles are just in a tough spot right now, right? I just built an ATV a little ago. I picked them up because they're pretty sure GW is going to phase out Firstborn. GW aren't going to phase out Firstborn for like 20 years, man. If you think it's going to be any quicker than that, I think you're going to be disappointed. They still make loads of money, I'm sure, on the Firstborn. And they probably realize, like, there's a lot of players that genuinely just actively stay away from Primaris Marines. I think it'll be a long time before the Firstborn are ever considered to be removed. Especially where, like, a lot of the Primaris stuff doesn't have nearly enough weapon options yet at the moment as well, right? Like, it's just like Phobos troops, they just have their stock units. Primaris Death Company can only take a single weapon, which is kind of tragic. It's just like they have a lot of work to do before they could even think about removing Firstborn. I do not see that coming anytime soon. I don't think it'll be in 10th edition, and I really don't think it'll probably be in 11th edition either. So I would guess there's probably at least 2 more editions before they even think about removing Firstborn. Howdy Jeff, how you doing? Thanks for the in-depth answer, you're welcome. Yeah, I mean, Invader ATVs don't need any support, right? They're not core, so it's not like they need a character or something buffing them. Maybe that's... And, they're pretty survivable for the points cost. Just 25 points more than a normal attack bike and 4 more wounds, so double the health, I think Invader ATVs are not bad. You're lucky Tony's not in the chat, or he'll tell me to shut up about Invader ATVs again. Hey Alvin, good evening, how you doing? I still say bring in the Relic Terminators. Yeah, I want to. I don't have any though. Marcus. I really want 5 Relic Terminators with Lightning Claws. I may actually just paint them Death Company because we've been painting. I haven't painted anything Death Company colors in a while, right? Because we've been painting a lot of guys in gold because they're all like veterans, like the Blade Guard veterans we did in gold, the Vanguard veterans we did in gold. Before that, I was painting a lot of units in red, like Assault Intercessors, Phobos troops. I haven't painted anything in Death Company colors for a while. Well, I mean, except that one Dreadnought. But yeah, I might paint the Relic Terminators in Death Company colors, just cause reasons. Switch up what we're normally doing and make them look pretty cool as well at the same time, right? With 3 Redemptors, yeah, I mean, that's the thing. If you go 3 Redemptors, you drop the Priest. I mean, here's the thing, though, and I was thinking about this a little bit, Highland, in that, like, a Tech Marine with Master of the Forge is like 90 points, whereas, like, the Sanguinary Priest is like 165, so you basically save, like, sorry, 155, you save 65 points, which is quite a lot. My issue, though, and the thing that stops me dropping the Priest, I think, is Blood Chalice, honestly. Like, it's more about the Blood Chalice than the other stuff for that basic turn 1 and turn 2 Assault Doctrine. And I guess you could do that without him being Selfless Healer, but, like, I feel like if you're going to include him, you probably include him as the Selfless Healer, right? So yeah, it's a tough one. It's a tough call. I haven't got an answer for that right now. 3 Redemptors, I mean, I have 3, I like the idea. I just don't know. Yeah, I agree with the vehicle buffs. Yeah, the Eliminators, man, I need to... I'm keeping them in the list for the moment, the Eliminators. I like them. Just trying to cover up some more of this white, really. The Playburst Crawler is great and has -1 damage, amazing weapons, toughness 8, and 5++ for the same cost as the Predator. That's... Same, you were barking up the wrong tree, honestly. See, before Chapter Approved came out, right? I was saying the exact same thing. I was like, how can a Predator with 4 las cannons at, like, I think it's 175 points, toughness 7 and 11 wounds be this, you know, how can that be 10 points more than a Plague Burst Crawler, which has the same 3-up save, the 5+ invulnerable save, the additional point of toughness, the -1 to all damage. It basically has 2 entropy cannons, which are better than las cannons because they're D3+3. It then has the indirect fire mortar, which is strength 8 -2 damage D6. Again, I mean, I'd argue that's kind of better than las cannons as well. And then it's got either like basically it's basically like a stubber, isn't it? I forget the name of the last gun, but it's like strength 4 and like 6 shots or something. Some sort of stubbery type gun. But like, how can that be 160 points and our Predator is like 175, and then for them to release Chapter Approved and just like not address it? I mean, I'm over it now, but at the time I was just like, I was raging for like a week. I was like, oh my god, does the guy that does the balance on Warhammer 40,000, does he play Warhammer 40,000? Because like, Sanguinary Guard going up 2 points per model. If you've ever played Sanguinary Guard, you know you can lose a whole squad of 8 of them in a single turn. It's not hard. They're just Marines with a 2-up save. They're not that survivable. You know, for them to put them up 2 points is like, I just felt like they're out of touch, honestly. I was raging, absolutely raging. Drop Chief Apothecary and take Corbolo to escort the Blade Guard and drive the Chapter Master on bike to him. Yeah. Corbolo can't put Blood Chalice on a unit though, right? You can only It's only an aura around him, I believe. Oscar says, what color are the Eliminator's cloaks going to be? I think I'm going to start them with a dark grey, right? And then I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to paint some sort of camouflage onto them, I think. And originally I was thinking like some dark blues, some dark purples, and I'll paint it sort of like a military camo. And then maybe once the military camo is on there, like I'll wash it with like something pretty dark, like Null Oil. So it looks like it's sort of like this grungy, dark military camo. I can't say much more than that. I sort of did that for my rebels for the Star Wars Legion. Like I had some rebels that I had like in a midnight blue color scheme, and I did that for them, and it was pretty nice, I think. What are your thoughts on the tactical war suit? I don't like the tactical war suits, Bic Ice. I wouldn't. Yeah, I mean, I like the model. I just don't think it's very competitive. It's in a strange place, right? Because you basically, the advantage of it is you can deploy it forward. But if you deploy it forward and you don't get turn 1, the enemy are just going to kill it. It's not survivable enough. It's just toughness 6. It's just got a 3+ save. So against any sort of heavy AP -2 or above, they're just going to shred through it. It's not gonna live. You know, some people might say, well, maybe if you went like 2 tactical war suits, but then like I still don't think they survive. I think if you compare them to the Redemptor, and the Redemptor is only like 15 points more expensive and has an extra toughness and has an extra -1 damage and arguably has better weapon options as well, you're basically paying points for the concealed positions on that unit, and I don't know how you make best use of those concealed positions, right? Because it might be different if you knew that you were going first, but because you don't know that, yeah, I don't know how you use a tactical war suit effectively at the moment. And yeah, if you start talking about bringing it in reserve or anything, then you're kind of defeating the whole point of the whole point to take it would be that it can be concealed, right? Is an Ironclad Dreadnought worth it for 3150? Yeah, I mean, I think an Ironclad Dreadnought is pretty great. I think Ironclad Dreadnought is probably almost... Do you know what? It's quite similar to the Death Company Dreadnought in terms of what it can do. If you're going to run an Ironclad, I would run it with the Chain Fist and the combat weapon and double heavy flamer. And then I think it's very comparable to the Death Company Dreadnought. I think it has 1 less attack than the Death Company Dreadnought, but the Death Company Dreadnought is going to get 1 more attack when it charges as well from the Black Rage. So, but I think the Ironclad can re-roll 1s if it's equipped with 2 combat weapons. So I like the Ironclad Dreadnought. I think it's pretty good. I think the Death Company Dreadnought maybe just pips it. But I mean, the Ironclad could get, it could get some sort of Chapter Master rerolls or something like that because it's core. So there is more ways, I suppose, you could buff the. You could buff the Ironclad over the Death Company one. So yeah, Ironclads get a thumbs up for me. I like them. It was actually top of my shopping list for a little while, the Ironclad. I haven't bought it yet, but it is still very, very high up on my shopping list. Yeah, I mean, Dreadnought for $30, man. That's about right. I don't think you'd get it much cheaper than 30, honestly. Plagueburst crawlers are very nice. I own 3, but they still die easier than most non-guard Death Guard players think. Things like Predators are so neglected by comparison. So yeah, I think that's probably fair. Yeah, I mean, vehicles with toughness 8. I mean, it's only got 12 wounds, I think, right? It's not like an amazing amount of wounds, but the -1 damage does definitely help. It helps a lot against Blood Angels anyway, if you're gonna charge them with Sanguinary Guard or something, right? I will never get over lost 600 points to 2 of them in 2 turns, and then the game was just over as entropy cannons had 22 shots those 2 turns. Are entropy cannons, are they random numbers of shots? I actually don't remember. I thought they were like, I thought they were just flat 3. Are they D3 or something? I generally try and not get into line of sight of plague burst crawlers because I know that they're a nightmare. I mean, it's not always doable though, right? What base did you use? What do you mean, sweet Lucky Jim? Like the color on the base, or what? Sorry. Yeah, maybe tactical war suits are stronger for other chapters. If you want to make it look like the eliminators are trenched through mud, you can use a thin layer of paint on a sponge and dab it on the bottom of the cloaks. You know, I have most of my models really clean looking. Like I don't do battle damage or weathering in general, and I think that's probably just because it's probably a more advanced technique than it was. You know, like I started painting this army when I was like 15 years old. There was no such thing as YouTube. There was no tutorials. There was no one to ask questions. So a lot of my stuff is probably quite basic by today's standard in terms of like, yeah, I just don't do weathering. Sometimes it's annoying because it's just, I guess if I wasn't so slow at stuff, I know some people sometimes are like willing to start their whole army over to like match a new color scheme that they like or something. I do not have the time for that, or the patience, I guess. I'm do you know, I probably have the patience actually. I just don't have the time. So yeah, I guess most of my stuff probably ends up looking a bit cleaner than other people's. And again, I guess it's just a conscious thing based on the fact that like it just matches what I did when I was much younger and much, you know, someone posted on the video I did about you know, getting motivation and stuff. Like, to be good at something, you need to do it for, what is it, like 100 hours? To be great at it, you need to do it for 1,000 hours. I'm probably only just reaching 1,000 hours of time painted, I would guess. I'm trying to think, right? Like, I probably paint for like, let's say 10 hours a week. So at that rate, okay, maybe more then. Maybe I'm reaching like 3,000 or 4,000 hours of painting by now. So I probably could do some weathering pretty effectively now. I know my brush control is generally much better than it used to be. But yeah, it's just annoying that the whole army is done and varnished, and it's like, how do you make the new stuff match the old stuff? Well, you kind of have to just do it in the same way, I guess. The 5++ on the Plague Burst crawler makes it survivable. I also like casting Might of Heroes actually on the Ironclad. I've never done it myself, but I think with multi-meltas being so prevalent in the meta, making the Ironclad Dreadnought toughness 9 would be pretty legit, right? Plus it gives him an extra strength and an extra attack, which means like he's just gonna do more damage when he does get into combat. But yeah, I think making him toughness 9 is an interesting option, right? People, you know, there's a lot of strength 8 weapons out there right now, people, so toughness 9 will just cut down on their ability to take him down, like, I'd say considerably, I think. Entropy or heavy 1, he meant the mortar D6 shots. Yeah, okay, yeah, I was thinking, I thought I didn't think entropies were that, but yeah, I mean the mortars, if they roll a lot of 6s or they target all the correct units, those mortars are really nasty against Sangre Guard. You know that? -2 is pretty good against Sangre Guard. Hey Anthony, good evening. How you doing? The tactical war suit is more for a Raven Guard playstyle. Yeah, do you know what? I could also see tactical war suit working with white scars quite well. You know that? Because I feel like early in the game, tactical war suits aren't going to probably kill that much stuff in melee. So if they're not going to kill that much stuff in melee, being able to fall back and charge something else might actually be pretty useful, I feel like. $10K is 10,000 hours to master a skill. Yeah, so at the rate I paint of like 10 hours a week, I probably need to paint for like 2 or 3 more years to get to 10,000 hours. And then do I feel like I've mastered it? Probably not. I think I get in the groove with painting though, where like I generally just really enjoy it. Like it's, you know, some people say to me like, I feel I find it more gratifying to paint one model at a time, you know, because each model finished feels like really good. I actually really like doing them in big squads of guys, because I feel like when you complete that squad, I do all the transfers at the same time, etc, etc. And like when you complete the squad and you get all the transfers done and it's like, wow, you just completed this whole squad of guys, it's like, yes. I always feel like that's a pretty awesome feeling. But you know, when I started painting, I never used to like, see these guys have like all these belts and stuff around them. I would probably just leave them red. I mean, some people leave the belts on the Marines red. For sure, but like I think as you go, you maybe start making some improvements, because yeah, I paint all these little pouches brown, the belts go brown. I actually don't know if it makes sense that they have leather belts in the 41st millennium. I don't know what these belts are supposed to be made of, but I paint them brown like they're leather. Maybe it's like it's a manufactured 41st millennium leather, very high durable, right? Reziel, my stuff is mostly clean. I have this agreement with myself in my head that I'll add battle damage and wear and tear to armies as they play more games. Headcanon or such issues. Fair enough. Yeah, I mean, that would be the way that I would have to do it, right? Add battle damage at the end when everything's finished. Maybe that's a goal. But yeah, I've got a lot to get finished. I've always felt talent is a modifier to the concept. The greater the talent, the more the amount of hours comes down. The lower the talent, as in my case, the more the number of hours increase. Yeah, I mean, that's something that definitely happens though, right? Like, as you get better, you definitely take on more challenging models or more challenging parts of the model, and you tend to make less mistakes, I guess. So that, look at how frayed, this brush is annoying me, how frayed it is. I feel like I haven't even used this brush this much, it shouldn't be this frayed. The mortars are scary, V's Gravis as well. If you use the stratagem to boost the mortar damage from 2 to 3, wipe my eradicators from out of line of sight. I didn't even know you could boost that mortar damage, damn. But yeah, Plague Burst Crawlers for 165 points. I think if you run 3 of them, That's a great starting point for a Death Guard list. Like, it's just so strong. Honestly, if we had access to those, I would be running them for sure. Absolutely. Like, I just think they're great. I think they're one of the strongest vehicles probably in the game right now. And yeah, I mean, you say that they die, Reziel, but I mean, anything dies, right? Or everything dies. You put the right firepower into it, anything will die, but it's just... Yeah, I really think that the Playburst Crawlers, compared to some of the Marine tanks, they're horrifically undercosted. I do my belt in black. I mean, black makes sense. Mark, I like the belts in a different color from the armor, I guess, is my main thing, right? I know some people put them in the same color as the armor. I think it helps break up their midsection if you put some color in the belts. Brown may be the wrong color. I like the idea of black or brown. Like, I'm generally happy enough that I've gone with brown. But yeah, I think at the time it just made sense, right? Like, what's a belt? It's brown. But like, then afterwards I was like, huh, are belts in the 41st millennium still brown? I don't know. I do the pouches and holsters in black. Yeah, I mean, I've seen some. So do you edge highlight them then? I guess the advantage of doing them in brown is, like, once I'm done, I can just slap a null oil wash over them. These white brushes are the new GW synthetic brushes. Yes, Frank. One of the channel members actually sent me like a bag of these brushes. Like, I want to say like 10 different ones, all the different sizes. This black brush isn't, but it's just because I need a little bit more accuracy to do these belts. But the white brushes have been okay for the, like, I think they come in at like $3-4 per brush. I actually think you get a lot of painting out of them for $3-4 a brush, you know that? I'd say they're actually better than the regular Games Workshop brushes that are like twice the price. Because I've had really poor experiences with them. I bought like an Artificer brush, which I think is like a £14 brush. And honestly, after 1 or 2 paint sessions, like 3 or 4 hours, it was just knackered. I was like, wow, this brush is just, what a waste of money that was. But yeah, these white brushes are the synthetic GW ones, and I've got a whole bag of them. And yeah, I looked at the price. Like I said, I didn't have to pay for them. Big shout out to the guy that sent me them. He's from Twitch, and his name was Two Hit Two Wound. But yeah, like, no, I think I looked at the price of them, and they're like $3-4 a brush, and I was like, yeah, I think at that price they're actually, yeah, they're generally better than the normal GW ones you would pay like 2 or 3 times that, right? Like, I think the Artificer brush was well over £10. I've also previously bought like small layer brushes and stuff that were like £8-9 that they just didn't last. So typically I avoid Games Workshop brushes now, but do you know what? If I needed some reasonable brushes just to get like battle ready models painted, then I would be willing to spend the money on the synthetic ones. And do you know what? I've got them right here. There's a... Or do I have them right here? No. Where did I put them? Damn it. I had them right here. I don't know what I did with them, but yeah, I got a whole bag of them. No, I don't know what I did with them. I'm terrible at losing things, absolutely terrible. And you know what? While I'm here, I should probably remind you guys. I don't know if you guys. This one goes for channel members, I guess. We're doing a giveaway, remember, on Sunday's show this week. Do you know what? I'll grab the model that we're giving away. Yeah, we're giving away this guy on the Sunday show. He's a chapter champion. So he's on the right size base for a firstborn marine, but he is a converted Blade Guard veteran, right? And look, on his shoulder pad it actually says BAC. I'm not sure if you can see that very well, but so this was done for me by Origin Painting, which is another channel on YouTube. You can check him out. He does great videos. So if you want to win this guy, you need to be a channel member, and you need to put like, well, if you watched last week's tactics video that came out last Friday, it was the video about let me think. The video it was called Dominate with Multi-Meltas. If you've not watched that video on the channel, go watch it. It'll tell you how to enter to win this guy. We're giving him away on Sunday. To channel members. Yeah, you're right, it's a Judasar body. I think this is actually an aggressor helmet. The Blade Guard veteran shield, and I guess I think it's a Blade Guard veteran sword. I think that's a Death Company shoulder pad or a Sanguinary Guard shoulder pad, and this is a Blade Guard veteran shoulder pad. So this guy is made up of like 5 different models here, and he's kind of awesome. Evan actually did a video on how he painted this guy, because he did the sword with some sort of like weird lava effect, he called it. He said he'd never done a sword like this before. It's supposed to look like it's burning lava. Yeah, Evan painted it 100%. So we're giving that away on Sunday's show, and you can, if you watch Friday's video from last week, it'll tell you how to enter. So yeah, if you're a channel member and you've not entered yet, then I would say it's like a no-brainer, right? If you want this model, just enter, and I'll send it out to you wherever you are in the world. It doesn't matter. We'll cover the postage, no problem. We'll get it sent out. So someone will win it. And it was very cool of Evan to do it for me. I did Evan a bit of a favor previously, so that was him like paying me back. I did think I would run it, but I'm not running a chapter champion right now, so it felt kind of sad that it was just sitting on my shelf. I don't know how I'd be able to run the chapter champion, and I actually had previously bought my own chapter champion I was working on as well, from a Forge World model, so I thought, like, you know what, we'll just give this away to channel members. Someone will make better use of it than I'm making right now. So yeah, if you want to win that. And how will you be notified? I guess, like, if you win it, I will contact you probably on Discord. If you're not on the Discord, I'll find you on YouTube, so don't worry about it. Like, whoever wins it, I will definitely find a way to get in contact with them. Or if I can't contact them, then they'll just, the next time they're in one of my live streams, they'll be like, hey, did you know you won? Or someone in one of the live streams will tell them they won, because that's what happened last time. Can't remember who it was actually last time, but someone won and they joined the stream like halfway through and they didn't realize that they had won. So yeah, I'm sure it'll be fine. Yeah, it is a really nice display piece, you know that. I guess I don't know, because I didn't paint it, I don't feel so attached to it, right? Like, I feel attached to things I paint, but if I don't paint it, then maybe I don't feel attached to it. Do you know what? I kind of hoped that it would get Evan some new subscribers as well, honestly, because Evan is, you know, he does really good videos. On YouTube, it can be a real fickle thing, honestly. So, you know, obviously we've got this other channel that I'm sometimes on called the Plastic Crackheads, and yeah, the YouTube algorithm can be a fickle thing, I guess. I guess no one fully understands it except YouTube, so I've watched a few of Evan's videos and thought like, hey, yeah, it'd be nice to see him get a few more subscribers. He's a sound guy. He puts in a lot of work, you know. So part of the reason, I guess, to give it away is to see if we can't help someone else out. Why not, right? Is the Phobos captain going to hold back and move the Blade Guard? Any relic choice? No relic as far as I'm aware. I'm really struggling with CP in this list as it is. I was thinking that he would just... Do you know what? I was looking in the Blood Angels Codex actually, Highland. There is no Warlord trait or relic that I'm aware of, and please correct me if I'm wrong here, that can let us generate CP, right? Like, Blood Angels do not have a specific trait that can generate CP. The only one I could find was there's Master of the Codex, which a chapter master can take, which is like in the command phase, you roll a d6 on a 4+, you get a CP back. But like, there's no Blood Angel specific one. Good evening, Broders. How you doing, man? Thanks for tuning in. Where are we in subscribers? What are we up at? Oh man, I lost a couple of subscribers during this stream. Oh well, we're not going to get to 5,600 tonight. Maybe tomorrow. That happens sometimes. People, I guess, decide they don't like me anymore. I was thinking that this Phobos captain would be hanging out with the Eliminators, honestly. Let them re-roll their ones. And... you know, I've only played him in 2 games now. Both games he sniped something pretty effectively, so... I guess we're sniping things and taking it from there. I don't fully know really how to utilize the Phobos captain properly yet. I did buy another box of Eliminators, so if I don't like him, I guess I could run 2 squads of Eliminators and take it from there as well. We'll have to think about it. It's kind of new to me running Eliminators, I guess. Or sorry, it's kind of new to me just running snipers, I guess. But yeah, I was thinking the Sangori Priest and the Blade Guard would be most likely together. Now, if we're buffing the Blade Guard up to 5 men, right? Anyone else two-tone edge highlight their Marines, or I'm the only one who creates extra work for a subtle effect? Do you know what some people do? For sure, Matthew. I think everybody probably has their own. I think possibly every Blood Angels player in this channel probably paints Blood Angels slightly differently. I mean, I guess that's one of the great things about this hobby, right? Is that you can put as much or as little effort into your painting as you like. My eyesight is actually not the greatest, so I kind of struggle with doing... I edge height sometimes models that I do in black, but like I don't do that much edge highlighting. And yeah, I've seen some people that do like the 2-tone edge highlighting, and I just think that is like so far beyond my ability. I find it hard enough to do a single edge highlight, so if you do it and it's subtle and it looks amazing, then like more power to you. Like, don't let anyone get you down, or don't let anyone say to you like, you know, I have a friend, cough, Andrew, that like finishes all his models. Like, you'll buy the model and you'll have them finished in a day. But like, I don't know, you know, like 3 colors, he's done with them, he's happy to move on. I don't know, I think these models are so expensive. I totally understand if you want to spend a lot of time and effort on them, you know? And like, I put in quite a lot of time. Like, I think on average, it takes me about 8 hours, I think, to paint a Marine. Because I worked out like how many hours I usually paint in a month and how long it takes me to do 10 guys. So I usually paint about 10 hours a week, I think I said. It takes me about 2.5 months to do 10 guys. So that pretty much works out is is 10 hours per guy, right? So yeah, I think it takes me about 8 hours to do a Marine, and I'm not like, I don't even particularly think my guys are like that high a standard, you know. So if you're two-tone edge highlighting and you're doing it in less than 8 hours, then, you know, per model, then more power to you. But yeah, I mean, don't let anyone diss on you for, if you want to do it that way, by all means do it that way, you know. Sniping things from distance is not the Blood Angel's way. Same, but 4 damage sniper rifle on this Phobos Captain is pretty sexy. It's actually Reziel that turned me on to this, or Reziel and Highland Phoenix. I think it was maybe the two of you actually, but in the game against Deathguard last week or 2 weeks ago, we sniped both his characters, and we sniped one in turn 1 and we sniped the other one in turn 2. They killed them both because they got no invulnerable saves, and even on the toughness 5 and the -1 damage. And he'd actually taken, was it like, I think he'd taken that psychic interrogation, and we just wrecked both his characters, so he basically lost 15 victory points. And against Sisters last week, we sniped away his Inquisitor straight away as well. So I guess with the points reduction to the snipers, they aren't bad. Like, they can do some work for you, and it just causes the enemy like a little bit of trouble to know. Like, they just have to be pretty smart about where their units are and stuff. I was impressed with how well the snipers did for me. Both games, actually. Finish your model in a day, some heretical help from the... Yeah, I could never finish them. Like, if I buy a character and I do nothing else for the entire day than paint, maybe I could finish a model in a day. Watercolored pencil crayons are great for edge highlighting. Frank does 3-layer edge highlight. Wow. So who is it that did 2-layer edge highlight? Sorry. Matthew, you've just been outdone by Frank. So, Frank, how long does it take you to do one model? Please tell me it takes you longer than 8 hours, or I'm going to feel like a big chump right now. Death Scythe. Watercolor. Oh, sorry, I already read that. Technically, you could use Angel's Exemplar and take Master of the Codex and Gift of Foresight. Yeah, I think you could do that. It would mean giving up his Feel No Pain, which again I'm reluctant to, Highland Phoenix. But maybe there's something in that. Good evening, Big Chief. How you doing? The original trait can be for any army. Yeah, Highland Phoenix is right, 100%. So you could do Master of the Codex and Gift of Foresight. You could do that. Do you have some sort of sealant after using them? You can edge highlight a Marine in about 2 minutes using them. I do not know how to edge highlight in 2 minutes using some sort of sealant, no. I'm gonna make a couple more battle ready painting videos, but yeah, like my painting is not that advanced. Plus, like, here's an example, like in here, you see in here behind this helmet, like I don't even know how you're supposed to really paint in there, right? Like, it's like, if you can't really see it, do you guys just leave it, or do you try and put some paint in there? Uh, 8 to 10 hours. You can see some of my stuff on your Facebook page. Oh, nice, Frank. Yeah, tag. Do you know what? I tend to be more active in Discord than Facebook, but yeah, just like, my name is John Stewart in that Facebook group. Just say my name so that I get pinged in it, and I'll have a look. I'd love to see some 3-color edge highlighting. So what colors do you actually use then? Are you on a Mephiston red base? And Will, thank you so much coming in with the super chat. Just wanted to pop in and support the guy who helped me get into the hobby. Been loving the content. Can't wait to see more. Thank you so much for the $5, Will. That's very much appreciated. It's always nice to get super chats. I will use the super chat to get a new pot of Evil Sun Scarlet. I promise that we're going to get this stupid bad pot of paint replaced. Post your infiltrators. Oh, cool. Yeah, I'd love to see infiltrators. Oh my god, Big Chief, you bought a falchion? Did you buy the falchion because you saw it on my channel, or did you buy it just because you wanted it? And which country are you in, Big Chief? I thought you were in America. I could be wrong here. I don't know why I think that. But yeah, let me know how much I'd love to know how much you had to pay for the falchion. Like, were you in America or are you just in the UK? Because I think they actually put the price up since I bought it. Been building all day. Got through Vanguard Vets, ATVs, half my 7-man Sanguinary Guard unit. I underestimate my build speed. Oh, that's cool. I like it when I have a big batch of models to build. I just hate having to then try and get caught up with all the millions painting, because that's the way it goes, right? I'm gonna do a little bit of Ushati Bone next. Frank, are you in Discord? Yeah, that's a good question. Are you on Discord? I have a themed army in the works. Hopefully 6 months from now I can post it on Facebook, says Big Chief. 8 to 10 hours seems like what I'm putting in. You said the models seem expensive to at least attempt a good job. Yeah, if you're putting in 8 to 10 hours per model and you're managing like a couple of edge highlights on that, I'd say that's really solid, man. And like, you know, we all give ourselves pain. I said earlier in the stream that I basically end up, like, if I'm doing red, I basically have to coat, like, I basically do 4 coats of red before I start painting. If I'm doing gold, I spray them black, then I spray them gold, then I give them a coat of Retributor armor. So, like, we all have we all have maybe dated techniques, and we all have things that make us slow, but, you know, I guess the question is, like, at the end of the day, when you put your army on the tabletop, are you proud of it? Because if the answer is yes, then it doesn't matter how much time or even how little time you've put in it. If you're happy, then that's all that matters, right? Like, I meant you could do edge highlighting in about 2 minutes using watercolor pencil crayons, then seal it with a glaze. I actually don't really know what watercolor pencil crayons are. Did you get a chance to look at the video footage via Andrew? Curious to hear if you have a new perspective on it. Yeah, I did watch back some of the game against Andrew Rizio, and yeah, I mean, I don't know if you were in the stream earlier. I said I had some stuff going on in real life early last week, and like, I didn't think it was affecting me. So either real life was affecting me and I just wasn't 100% there in terms of mentally, or I just got out of bed on the wrong side that day, and I really don't know what happened. But regardless, like, I want to say there was like 4 or 5 misplays in that game. Probably some of them pretty large. Like, I thought Andrew's list was strong, but I didn't think it was unbeatable. I definitely didn't think it was unbeatable, and I think, like, if I played well, I could have beaten it. And I also think you don't learn all that. I said this earlier in the stream as well. I actually don't think you learn all that much when you win a game, right? Like, see when I was on that 11 game win streak, or the streak before, the 8 game win streak. So like basically when I won 19 out of 20 games on this channel, pretty much every Monday night after I finished playing, I just went home and pat myself on the back, went like, you know, I'd almost like boast about it a little bit to my wife, like, hey, I won another game, you know, and she's like, oh yeah, well done, you know. And it was like, I never thought about the army list. I never criticized anything that I was doing. So I'm changing my list for Monday night, right? After losing that game on Monday, I went home and I guess I was speaking to you guys for like half an hour in Discord and getting some feedback. And then the following day, I spent tons of time in Battlescribe. So I actually went back to that list that like before the chapter approved changes that won 11 games in a row, and was like looking at that list and trying to work out like, so hey, why did this list win all these games? You know, like what's different with my current list? Because I try to keep the list the same, but obviously we couldn't keep it the same because they made some of our units cost more points, right? So try to look at both. Try to look at both some of the footage from the game, some of the mistakes I made, and also try to look at you know, what was winning before, or why was it winning before and why is it not winning now. So yeah, I have a changed list for Monday night, and hopefully but I mean, there were so many errors, Reziel, from the very beginning of that game. I don't even know if I want to talk over them. Like, he dropped a squad of Repentia in next to my Centurions, right, to basically charge the Centurions. And like, we know how deadly the Repentia are. 100% know how deadly Repentia are. Like, I complain about them all the time because I think they're overpowered. And I was thinking I could overwatch them, right? Because they were 10 inches away. What I didn't realize was only one model was in range of the Overwatch. The other 2 Centurions, because their big bases, are like out of range. So like, I could have Auspex scanned them and either made it like harder for him to charge, or the Auspex scan could have at least. So like, if I just measured that and went like, oh, only 1 Centurion's in range here, well, we'll Auspex scan them and kill half of them, and then when they charge them, we'll kill the other half of them. Then we'll only have 1 Repentia coming in. And I'm pretty sure 1 Repentia, I know how overpowered they are, but I'm pretty sure 1 Repentia doesn't kill a 3-man squad of Centurions on their own, right? So it was just mistake after mistake. I just wasn't on it Monday. Hopefully we're going to be on it this Monday. John, say my name every time he wins. Yeah, I don't break my list down critically when I win, so I'm actually glad that I lost that game. Made me think a lot, made me look at my list, and also we'll see, you know, we'll make changes this week if they don't work. I'm still convinced we can have a strong list. Like, I still think I can beat Andrew even with how strong the Sisters of Battle Codex is right now. I think I obviously need to play a lot better than I played on Monday, but that's not a problem. I mean, that was just a one-off, I hope. Adopt the Grim Dark style, zero edge highlight, and you can cover all your mistakes in Grim. Yeah, I mean, that is one way to do it, Broders, right? I've gone lazy with my Blood Angels, Zenithal Prime, then Contrast Base. I really like a grimy, darker red to be Grim Dark. Yeah, but yeah, you should get in Discord for sure. There's the thing about Discord is the chat. It just is a bit more interactive, Frank, I guess, because more people are in there all the time, and like, you get responses quicker. So I guess people tend to just like Discord maybe a little bit more. Our gaming group is doing an Epoch game using the Epoch rules. Warhounds and Baneblades are going to be all over the table. Do you know what? I always liked the look of those new Apocalypse rules, but I've never got round to playing it yet, Mark. I really like how the fact that the units don't get taken off till the end of the battle round. I actually think that's a very cool mechanic, I guess. I bought it to kill Mortarion. I love the model. I've seen your games and it sealed the deal. I bought it 3 months ago. I had a friend make a run to the Forge World shop so I didn't have to pay shipping. Wow. Nice. Let me know how you get on with the Falchion. Big Chief, because I kind of love it. I know it's expensive, but I'd love to see it when you finish painting it as well. I actually don't think I've seen that many Blood Angels falchions painted. So I'd love to see yours when it's done. And yeah, let me know how it does for you in the battlefield, because it is a very fun model. The one bit of advice I'd give you is just don't split your las cannon and your main cannon's fire. Like, if you don't split the fire, you just kill just about anything. So yeah, just don't split fire. Put all the las cannons and the main cannon like into Mortarion, and then just watch your enemy cry as you delete 500 point model in a single round of shooting. I believe last time I checked that I think you can do. So I run mine with 3 heavy bolters, right? So the heavy bolters do 18 damage maximum, because you basically have, you have 3 of them, so that's maximum of 9 damage. You have 8 las cannons, so that's a maximum of 54. So add that to the 18, that's 72, and then you add on the main D6. Sorry, 2d3 shots from the volcano cannon, 6 damage each. So that tank alone can do 98 wounds in the shooting phase, and that's at 36 inches. It's kind of crazy. I mean, las cannons are 48 and the volcano is actually 120 inches. So if you're 36 inches away from the enemy, you can do 96 wounds to them. 98 wounds, sorry. And if you're a bit further, you can do like, what, 80 wounds? It's pretty fun. I like it. Any tips for painting Sanguinary Guard? I'm doing them right now as we speak. Yeah, I mean, what tips do you want to know? If you go back on, like, if you go back to my hobby videos from like a month ago, I was painting Sanguinary Guard on here. I probably painted them over the course of like 4 or 5 different streams. I also do batch painting. It could be a grind at times, but I get more done. In fact, I am just hitting the final step of a big batch. All the important tufts. I'll get pics up in Discord later. Yeah, I mean, I always tend to do batches now, unless maybe like I get a new character or something. Like, sometimes it's nice to just take a character and like do a character in a day or something, as like a break from batch painting. But I generally do batches. I try and keep them. I think the biggest batch I've ever done is like 15 models. I think I try and keep them at 10 now, just because 10 usually takes me like 2.5 months. So if I'm doing like a batch of 15, you're basically talking like 3 or 4 months, and you can, in that 3 or 4 months, you can never say, oh, look at this thing I finished, which I don't like. So my batches tend to be like 10s. I think we have more to learn from our losses than wins for sure. Should learn from both, but if you fail and come back better, then it's win for you regardless. A monthly video on lessons learned would be good. That'd be a cool video idea, actually, Highland. It would force me to analyze some wins as well, because I actually think we'll be back to winning ways soonish, or maybe that's me being overconfident again. I need to stop being overconfident. But no, I do think we'll be back to some sort of winning ways soonish. So yeah, video where we take the best lessons we learned actually sounds like a cool idea. I've been trying some new videos. You know, like YouTube has this thing called shorts now, and basically a short is a video that's less than a minute long, and you like put hashtag shorts in the title. And I made my first short this week, and people maybe wondered like what the hell is a short, or why would you make a short now? Because there's not a lot of content, right? Like, as a video that's less than a minute. But I think the idea with shorts is that like they're to introduce people to your channel. They're not necessarily, you know, like they're not going to get big engagement, but they'll get shown to like a lot of new people. So I guess if you guys see any shorts and you're wondering like why is he wasting his time doing shorts, then I guess the idea is that like shorts get shown to people as like a preview, like, hey, this guy is on YouTube doing Blood Angels content, we thought you might like it, so here's a little short 1-minute video that maybe you like or maybe you dislike. So if you see any shorts and you're wondering why the hell am I making them, so I'm always up for making new video ideas, and I have quite a lot of plans. It's just a case of like I'm trying to get to a point where like I'm a little bit ahead in terms of like my weekly content, so that I have more time through the week. Thanks for hanging out, Reziel. Good to see you. So for example, right, like it's I've actually got a video ready for Wednesday next week and a video ready for Friday next week, and that's the first time that I've ever managed to get that ready. Discord invite is in the video description, Frank. So yeah, so I'm trying to plan my content so that I actually have it, so I'm not doing it at the last minute, and it gives me more time for like, so basically I guess what that means is like of a normal week on the Blood Angels Commander channel, what normally happens is Monday night I play a game, Tuesday night I sort of think up a video idea and try and do a bit of filming on it, Wednesday night I would finish the video and then edit it, Thursday night I'd finish any final editing, you know, upload it to YouTube and like put all the description and stuff in, and like I've been doing that every week, but like it doesn't leave me a lot of time for like, you know, like if I find something on Wednesday night like, hey, this video is not going to work, or something comes up in the video that's like, oh, this I've got this ruling wrong and I need to change part of the video. It didn't leave me any time to react to stuff. So what I'm trying to do, and I've been trying this for a while now, is to get to a point where like, so this week this week is the first week that I'll be working on next week's content for the first time ever. So I'll be working on content like a week in advance, and I guess what that means is that like I actually have a little bit more time to make sure that content is really good. So I don't know if it's going to work, but that's what I've been trying to do. That's what I've been trying to get to a point for probably like a year. I've been trying to get to this point, but I've never been efficient enough, or I've never been good enough with the video editing software to do that. So we may actually finally be there, I guess. But yeah, so we like, for example, a video on lessons learned could totally fit in now, right? Because it's like, I could actually like make a document and start planning it and get it together. I actually have this week's Wednesday's video is going to be pretty cool actually. I actually got an interview with like a top Blood Angels player that's like at tournaments right now, and who's like playing very competitively, and we talk over his list, and it was like a high placing tournament list. Sort of interviewed him last night. I need to, well, you know, I say I'm working on next week's video. I still got to do a little bit of video editing on that actually. So we'll do that maybe tomorrow night, Sunday night. And then yeah, that means on Monday and Tuesday I can start looking at like next week's video. How do you counter a turn 1 3+ objective holding list which takes Stranglehold? What would you do? Stranglehold is what control more. I actually don't really take Stranglehold actually. I mean, sometimes you have to give up points, I guess, but if they're holding 3+, surely you're holding some as well. Having trouble seeing the effect of dry brushing or Auric gold armor. Can't tell if it's worth it. Thoughts on just priming with Retributor armor vs doing black first, or which Blood Angels models do you have the most fun painting? You were asking tips about Sanguinary Guard, Steve. 1 second. So I have a gold guy right here. Oh, do you know what? I actually have two. So this will be a good example, right? So this guy on the right has been primed with black, then sprayed with Retributor armor, right? And then in some cases I may have actually tidied up this Retributor armor in places. Looking at it now, it feels like it probably feels like this area here actually looks like it could have done a bit like that still looks a little bit patchy to me, but so this guy is just black with Retributor armor over him, right? This guy on the left is black with Retributor armor, and then he's been washed, and when I say he's been washed, the entire model has been washed. Hey Derek, thanks for subscribing. The entire model has been washed with Carabor Crimson, just at liberty over the Retributor armor. Like it's not like I tried to. I mean, you can see tide marks. There's a tide mark here on his knee. There's a tide mark here on his leg a little bit. So like I was pretty liberal with the wash. I just wash all the gold with Carabor Crimson. And yeah, I don't do any edge highlighting on these gold guys. So this is a Vanguard veteran, but I did mine in gold. And I do the same on the Sanguinary Guard, right? So I spray them black, spray them Retributor gold, and then just wash them with Carabor Crimson. And I quite like how that comes out. It takes the Retributor gold from sort of like the gold, like this to me feels like a bit of a cheesy gold, right? Like it's almost too gold. This gives it sort of like a bronzy gold. And I mean, everyone's got their own opinion, I guess, on what's good or what's not. I like this a lot, actually. Yeah, I mean, I'm fairly happy with them. And I plan to do the same on these guys. I'm just a little bit behind. The reason this guy's on the table is for a point of reference, right? So I'm just trying to copy them, because I actually already did 10 Vanguard veterans with like chain swords and all this nonsense before Lightning Claws were all the rage. So on the table behind me, I have 5 guys with Lightning Claws. Carabor Crimson or Reichland Fleshshade. Sorry, you're right. It's Reichland Fleshshade. It's not Carabor Crimson. Yeah, I have both pots of paint, but it's Reichland Fleshshade I use. I don't actually know what I wash with Carabor Crimson. Thank you for pointing that out, Jason. I maybe said that before. Are you planning on getting more involved in Kill Team with the new edition? I would like to be more involved with Kill Team, but would I be planning it around the new edition? I'm gonna say no to being around the new edition, because I actually don't know when the new edition is launching. I'm not sure if they announced that. Maybe they did. But my thing about Kill Team right now is, my thing right now is I've got 2 tournaments coming up: a group tournament, a 3-man tournament in September for 40k, and a solo tournament in November for 40k, and I want to do well in both. Bash my damn camera stand. And because I want to do well in both those tournaments, that is going to be taking up the majority of my time, I would guess. So maybe after that, I'd be happy to get more involved in Kill Team. Like, I like Kill Team. Kill Team is kind of what got me back into the hobby after being out of hobby for so long. So yeah, I like Kill Team. Oh, my overhead camera is saying low power. Why the hell is it saying low power? 1 second. There we go. Okay. That was meant to be, I guess, me knocking that thing. If it helps, I spray Retributor wash with Agrax Earthshade, bring back up with Auric Armor, highlight with Liberator Gold. If it's character and final edge, highlight of Rudefang Steel. Wow, Adam, you do some serious painting. Did you see my newest list? I threw it on the newest community post. I didn't. When did you post it, Ares? Just today, or when exactly? Sorry. And is it? I think it's for the Army List show, right? Are you up for the show tomorrow? Are you? Greetings, brothers. of the Blood Angels. Are you talking about painting gold? I love playing around with different shades and washes over attribute, or you can make many different golds. Yeah, we're talking someone, Sieve. Was it Sieve? Seave. I guess his name is some variation on Sieve. Was asking about, you said he was about to start, or he is starting painting some Sanguinary Guard, and was asking for advice. And yeah, my scheme is very simple. I try and keep, I would say all my painting schemes are battle ready schemes. So if you want to just be simple and go battle ready, you can do what I do. But if you want to get more involved, then you know, there's so many good painters in the Discord, and there's so many people in the chats here whenever we hang out that will always give probably really solid advice. Which disciplines you would say to give best to Mephiston? You can only give him Sanguinary Discipline. I'm pretty sure he can only take Sanguinary Discipline, and I think Mephiston, I guess, needs probably Wings of Sanguinius, and then, I mean, Quickening can be reasonably decent on him, Unleash Rage can be pretty decent, and then Shield of Sanguinius can be pretty decent. I guess if you want to take him as someone that can kick out some mortal wounds, then, you know, take Blood Lance or Blood Boil, but I feel like Blood Lance and Blood Boil are kind of the weaker of the two picks there. If you want to start the new edition kill team, I can definitely help set up a video between you and Glass Half Dead channel. Looks like rules significantly changing. I did read that the rules are going to be changing, and you know, I do like the look of those Death Corpse of Krieg models. Like, they are very cool. I mean, if I didn't have a giant backlog of Blood Angels, I would be like, yeah, sure, we'll get those Death Corpse and we'll even paint them on the channel or something. And maybe we can still do that. Like, just, it feels like every time I want to take a new list for Blood Angels at the moment, I still feel like I need to have something new painted. So while this nightmare of never making a list where everything is painted is still going on, I guess that's going to be my focus for a little while anyway. I actually didn't realize the time. I'm gonna have to get off here pretty soon. It's 5 to midnight. Time has kind of run away from me tonight. I'd love to see your knowledge play into building kill teams. Do you know, I did actually do a kill team tournament just before COVID hit, and I actually came fourth. There was one game that I probably should have done better in, and if I did, I would have probably finished top 3. So, but that was basically Kill Team 1.0, right? Like that was that first Kill Team box that had like the ad mech, and I actually don't remember who the other was. It was Gene Stealer Cults, wasn't it? Was it ad mech v Gene Stealer Cults? I actually got that box for the rules, but I didn't keep either of the kill teams. I just made a Blood Angels kill team. But I mean, I guess it wasn't even specifically Blood Angels kill team, right? It was just a Space Marine kill team, because there was no chapter tactic or anything there. Look, was it here? I got the proof. Look. Oh, kill team. Oh, and look, I even put little, what do you call it? These little things to find the pages, huh? Oh, I had my 1,000 Sun skeleton in there. I even put a little thing in there. Suns, I just called them. But yeah. Hey, thanks for subscribing, Benjamin. Glad to have you. I'm still playing my I'm still painting my Achilles. I started it months ago. Man, I'm still jealous of people that have Achilles Land Raiders. They're so... I feel like I still want an Achilles, you know that? I really do. Alright, I'm going to put a tiny little bit of paint on this guy. I'm going to call it a night. Yeah, this is stone. Okay. But yeah, we're back tomorrow. 4 o'clock for the army show as always. So, you know, hopefully we'll catch some of you guys at 4 tomorrow, and then I was going to say on Monday night, rematch against the Sisters of Battle, and definitely cannot let Andrew get another victory. Definitely not. I have a bad habit of buying minis. I bought a Skaven army and a Stormcast army. Do you know that I have 3 different... Do you know what someone was asking earlier about minis and, you know, what other 40k armies that we've got? I actually have 3 Sigmar armies, like, literally 3, and they're all on sprues. I had also bought Warhammer Quest, like Shadow over Hammerhall, and the Silver Tower. I had both of them. I actually sold those 2 on eBay and made a killing. I bought Shadow of Hammerhall like at the end of its run, like, and I got the whole box brand new on sprue for like £30, and I think on eBay I got like 250 for it or something. I was like, oh man. I wish I just bought all the copies the store had at that time, because like I made a killing on one of the copies. So yeah, I actually sold I actually sold Warhammer Quest just because it was like, when the hell am I ever getting time to paint or finish this with all the other stuff that I'm doing? Mates and I are completely smashed today in the center of the board by Inner Circle, Blade Guard, Azrael, Ezekiel, Apothecary, and Ancient. We have nothing to deal with them effectively. Yeah, I mean, Inner Circle is a nightmare, I guess. I was gonna say, I don't even know what you do. Weight of Fire with like -2 AP is decent against it, but like... I think I might be having a game against Dark Angels in a couple of weeks, but I honestly haven't played Dark Angels much at all in 9th edition. It does just feel like there's a lot of armies that have... Those unmodified wound things really hurt our chapter tactic, you know that? I kind of wish that they would... I kind of wish they'd make our chapter tactic maybe immune to that, or at least... Maybe not immune, but at least still give the +1. I feel like that would be a good way to get us to be a little bit more competitive, maybe. Hard to say. Who's on tomorrow's show? Sorry, let me answer that and then I'm going to call it a night. Tomorrow's show we have... Yeah, okay, that's why Areas Mafia was messaging me, because he is on tomorrow's show. And I'm going to have to find his message because I don't see it. Oh right, you sent it in a paste bin. Okay, so we've got tomorrow's show, we've got Ares Mafia. We have Michael Hokey. Oh, we've got you, Highland Phoenix. Oh, I guess that's why you're asking as well. Okay, yeah, you're on tomorrow's show. and we've got Dr. Akalusha. Doctor's often in the chat actually, so we have you guys tomorrow, and we'll be live at 4 o'clock as normal. But cool, okay, well thanks for hanging out tonight, guys. It was good. Hopefully you enjoyed the stream. If you did, always appreciate it if you guys hit that like button. That always does help me out. And yeah, so this week coming, then we've got the army show tomorrow. We've got the live battle report Monday night. We've got an interview and a competitive army list breakdown on Wednesday, and then we've got the elite tier list on Friday. So it's a busy week. So yeah, content is all planned and lined up for this week, so it will be out. And then I have a backlog of video ideas, so that's probably, I'm going to start looking at a video idea for next week, and we'll see what we can come up with. But yeah, no, and thank you to the new people that are here for the first time. There definitely was some, and we definitely got some new subscribers tonight as well. So, if you want to see more Blood Angel stuff every week, then please consider subscribing as well. And if not, that's fine. You can dislike the video as well if you dislike me or you dislike the video. Either way, thumbs up, thumbs down is good. And yeah, hopefully I'll catch some of you guys tomorrow. Have a great Saturday night, what's left of it. And yeah, good night. By the blood are we made strong, brothers. Peace.